I'll be showing you how to make one-shot flipbooks using After Effects. It should take about 10 minutes. You can use any symbol you want, it doesn't have to be kanji. And this can spice up your VFX and your move sets. It's pretty simple, and yeah, if you don't have Adobe After Effects, I'll be putting some of these textures in my Discord below, along with a bunch of other textures you can use. You can just grab it from there if you don't have After Effects. So let's get into it. I'll show you how to make these. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is open Adobe After Effects, and then you're going to go to New Composition. Make sure you have the same settings as me, or at least have a 1:1 ratio. And then 64 frames, and duration should be 1 second. So the whole thing is going to be 64 frames. And you can change the background. I'll keep it at black, but you can make it transparent as well if you want. So you have this here. And then next thing you want to do is insert your image, the symbol you want to use. So I'm just going to go to my folder, drag what I want into there. It's going to upload, then drag it here, and then make sure it has a transparent background as well. So I'm going to come here and bring the size down a little bit. So bring the scale, I'd say about 65 maybe, no, maybe less. Yeah, about 55 for this, and then I'm going to align it so it's in the center. And the first thing you want to add is a hue/saturation, and you're going to change it, the master lightness, all the way up to 100 so it's completely white. And then another thing you can add is a glow, and make it pretty bright. It just it gets rid of the bad outlines. So just tinker with this until it's something you want. I'm gonna settle here. Alright, and then the important part you want is the fractal noise. And so pretty much what this does is it makes it dissipate. But this is an important step. You're going to want to drag your glow below the fractal noise so it doesn't have that weird outline that you just saw a minute ago. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to change the evolution. So here it's going to be 0, 0. Then here make it like maybe 15. So then it gives you the effect of change, and you can see it kind of moves. If you want to move more, bring this up to a higher value, and then you can see it moves. Alright, then bring the contrast up. It's gonna be different for each individual thing. So the more contrast you have, the more the black and white will be noticeable. And I think I go to the hue and saturation, and yeah, and turn on colorize, and then it gets rid of the white outlines there. So right now you have this. If I play it through, it's gonna look like that. And pretty much you're gonna play with brightness. So you want to start at a very low brightness. I'd say it's completely gone. That's where you want it to be at. Because you can't see it at all. This is perfect. And then drag it over, and you're gonna slowly subtract until things become visible. And then if you want to drag these, open up fractal noise under effects, and you'll be able to drag these much easier. So look, there's a fade in. If you want the same fade out, just click your point, Control C, come over here, Control V. You can do this for all these as well. Now this is going to be a pretty long fade out. So what I would do is I would move these more towards the end. And let's make sure we set 0, -50, so maybe I'll add like a 10 here, just so we can have some diversity in the way the effect moves. So that's looking pretty clean. I might want a few more frames here. If I want less, drag it inwards. And another thing you can do to brighten this up is you can play with the glow. Also make this a sequence. You can change intensity. At the peak, you can make it glow way brighter. And then at the rest, it will not glow as much. Just give it a lower value. Right now it's too steep, these points. So drag these out. I'm gonna give it like 0.5 here, Control C, Control V. So you can just play around with these settings. It just messed everything up. So you can play around with the glow. Right now I'm playing around with the glow intensity. Gonna make it so in the middle it's the brightest, and then it comes back down to like 0.5 at the ends. So it's pretty much like a bell curve right now. So this is pretty standard for what you're gonna get for this kind of effect with fractal noise. Personally, I like the longer fade in, fade out, so I could like move this over here, because I just like seeing everything move within it. It looks pretty cool. Maybe right, so you're just gonna play around with this. You can add other effects. Something you can add is a wave. So it's not gonna be like this. You're gonna want a really wide wave with a really low speed. You can see it moves a little bit, and then wider wave, less movement. You can bring the speed up. I think lower speed looks way better. So I'm gonna give it probably 0.1. Alright, so now that it's done pretty much, just make sure your first and last frame are completely black. Mine's not here, so I'm gonna make the light even lower. Alright, it's completely black. So then go to composition, and then add to render queue. This is important. You want to use a PNG sequence. Alright, so on format, use PNG sequence, and then this looks good. It's gonna make 64 frames, and then click the output, make it on your desktop somewhere. And then after this, you're gonna open Texture Packer, which I'll link in the description, and it'll format your things together. So let me download this, and I'll see you in Texture Packer. So I'm gonna render this, and then I'll open Texture Packer so we can format it for Roblox. See that it makes 64 frames, and it'll be on my desktop, and I'll drag it into Texture Packer. Alright, so now that we have Texture Packer open, simply drag in your output, your frames, your PNG sequence, and you'll get this. And then you're going to come up to here, publish sprites sheet, save it as a PNG on your desktop, and then you're going to want to open Roblox Studio. Alright, so now that we're in Studio, you're going to get a part with an attachment in it, and then you're going to insert a particle, and then come over here, texture, add image. You're going to find the image that you saved from Texture Packer. So here's the image that I made from After Effects and Texture Packer, and then if your background is black, put your light emission to 1. It gets rid of the background. And then this is the important part, come to Flipbook, and if you use 64 frames, you're going to have a grid 8x8, and they're going to put it on one shot. And then now, lifetime to 1, rates to 1 as well, and you're going to want to put the speed just for now to 0.01 so it doesn't really move, and then light influence low, and then you can turn up the brightness if you want, 3, or change the side to what you want. I'm going to use this as a reference. Yeah, the size is 2. I'll make it a tiny bit smaller, and then actually you can make the lifetime longer, and you'll see more of the effect that you made. I need to put down the rate as well. I have good settings on these ones. So lifetime 4, rate 0.2, and then it will fade in and out like this. You can change the color as well. This means night, so I could give it like a blue or a purple even. And this is how you make a pretty simple fade flipbook. And there's so many things you can do with it. And it just adds another level of detail to your VFX. And then I'll link this in my Discord below. I'll put in the texture in there so you can use it if you don't have After Effects. And you can find all these textures in my Discord as well. So that's pretty much a tutorial on how to make VFX. You can use any symbols, by the way, you don't have to use kanji. I just think this is a popular style. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Peace.